Hold on. There. Now we're unmuted. Hey, everybody. Here, let me scoot over. We made it, Cynthia.
Yeah, we did.
It my
was
goodness.
A close call.
By the skin of our teeth, everybody. And I haven't even put lipstick on yet.
It's one of those mornings, where you kind of lose track of time, I guess.
Or you're like, we
stayed up late watching.
We did 80s videos. Let me fix this light. Are we a little too hot there? That might be better. Is that better? That looks better.
It's more well lit.
More well lit. I think I need another necklace. I'm going to do another necklace here. You can see that we're kind of in a little bit of a different configuration. So both of us, there we go. Look at that. I'm going to do this. Let me see if I can wrap this around.
That looks good.
We're going to talk about the mix. Here's, what's that?
I was going to ask Azalea to get my pouch because I realized I wasn't wearing any of jewelry. Can you get that pouch right over there?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got here.
Yeah, it's so good to have you. We've got a full, there we go. Look, more. Less is more. There we go. Thanks. Here's Azalea. Azalea, peek in and say hi.
Hello.
Look, it's Azalea in the house. I've got Cynthia Thornton, Azalea Ogden from Green Girl Studios. My friends, we are the luckiest. There's so many people watching already. We also have our buddy Miranda, who is the newest member of our bead shop team. She's here filling orders. Miranda, peek in. You want to peek in? Will you peek in? Here she comes. You're going to get the first look. You're going to get the first look of our buddy Miranda. There she is. Look at how fabulous she is. She's so awesome. So we can't do it without you.
Oh, thanks.
And tomorrow's her birthday. So happy birthday tomorrow to our Miranda. Awesome. You're going to start seeing. Yeah, see? There we go. Everyone's coming through. So hurrah. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
She's amazing. Yeah, Terry's like, oh my gosh, hello, new person. Happy birthday. That's awesome. But lots of happy birthday wishes to Miranda. Lots of big hellos to Azalea and Cynthia. Azalea, you have a question. Someone wants to know how your guitar is doing.
It's collecting a little bit of dust.
All right, but you got to do some playing.
I will.
Right? We've got a lot. Kim Crawford is saying we need to have an online 80s beading party, perhaps different decades, once a month. That would be fun.
That's a fun idea. We were admiring the jewelry last night.
Scoot in tighter so you don't feel like you're off the edge. There we go. And now I feel like I'm short.
What was it? Who was wearing the Peyote stitch earrings in 1984?
Oh, we were watching Patti Smythe. We were watching Scandal. The group, Patti Smythe, and she was singing and dancing,
the 80s
dance. Exactly. You know how it was, and she was wearing all red. I'm kind of obsessed with red right now,
red and black,
and she was wearing peyote stitch earrings. Go look at the Goodbye to You video.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm just saying, it's great. So yeah, it was super fun. We had a lot of fun. Gosh, good times. Before we go any further, though, let me get you. Janice is here. Janice is on this coast. She's been picking out some great stuff for studio drops, stuff that we're bringing to the retreat. I did. Janice, I did add another pearl necklace. I did. I'm going to just keep layering it on. I'm also wearing our Third Thursday earrings that I'm going to show.
I love
them. Let me tell you a couple of things. First of all, we have a giveaway going on, an initiative, if you will. Let me put this up. I want to get to, I want to get to 100,000 subscribers.
I think you can.
On our YouTube channel.
Practically there.
We are practically there. So what we're doing, my friends, is we want you to help us reach 100,000. We know that a lot of you are already subscribed to our YouTube channel, and we're super grateful. We only need about 10,000 more. We're so close. It's like going window shopping late at night and you can't get into the store. Mm-hmm. And you're like, all I want are those shoes, but I can't get them because the store's closed.
Well, I think if people were to share the video or tell a friend, then if each person did that, I mean, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It'll get out there. So this is how you'll be entered. We did it last week, and you folks left us some really great comments. We were super, super grateful. So subscribe to beadshop.com on YouTube now. I know a lot of you are already subscribed, so that's great. You folks are eligible as well. All you need to do is leave a comment on this broadcast that you're watching right now, telling us that you subscribed. You'll get an extra entry if you tell us what you like about our videos, what you love, not even like, what you love about our videos. We're going to announce the winner tomorrow. We're going to pick them late tonight. Comments are going to be collected from August 7th to 14th through the end of today on last week's and this week's Bead Shop Live shows and YouTube replays. We're going to look at those comments, and then tomorrow on the third Thursday earring show, we're going to announce the winners. Okay. So, let me tell you, this is the third Thursday earring kit that I'm wearing. It's in honor of Cynthia. You'll come back with me tomorrow. You'll make these earrings. I mean, they're your beads. We're going to make these. So that'll be really fun. Those will be up. Those will drop tonight at midnight. My mom says she's looking forward to seeing us later. We're going to go over to my mom's. We're going to pick up the notebooks for the retreat that my mom made. So nice. It's going to be fun. Azalea's going to get to look at fabric. We're going to hang out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun times. But today is also, look at that. And while you're doing it for us, exactly. Let me get that over there. Here it is. Michelle's saying subscribe to both Bead Shop and Greek Girl Studios.
Oh, thank you.
So when you're giving us that subscribe, let's show Cynthia some love, because she and Azalea have traveled all the way here from Asheville, North Carolina to be with us, at the retreat. And
for
just
you, Kate. And Chris, you know how it is. We love hanging out together. We just have a good time.
Look at that necklace. We're going to throw that under the
thank you.
It's gorgeous. And you're also going to go live on your regular show, which is 4:00 Pacific, 7:00 Eastern.
Yes, we have our magic hour that we have a Wednesday and a Sunday edition. So that's tonight.
That's tonight. So you'll watch it
or this evening.
This evening, or late this afternoon when you're here. If you're on the West Coast, you know. You can also, of course, watch the replays on that. Okay, so let's get down to it. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Look at that. So I've watched Cynthia and Azalea as long as I have you, Kate. You girls are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? We are awesome. We were thinking about how long we've been friends.
Well, I was telling Kate, I was like, Azalea, I've known Kate longer than you've been alive.
And Azalea is going to be 20 next week.
So, and then we were friends before.
Way before.
So that's like.
So we've been friends 30? Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
30. And we don't look a day over 30.
I was going to say, can you even believe that? It's like, it's impossible.
That's great. Thank you, Carrie Keaton, for giving that subscribe over to Green Girl. We really, really appreciate it. You know, one of the things that, you know, a lot of us, as we say, we've been friends for so long. We've been doing these. It's back when, you know, we're like in our 20s and like packing all of us into one hotel room because we couldn't afford like our own hotel back in Tucson days.
It was like sardines.
Right. Janice is saying, tell us again about Cynthia's show. So we'll talk about our friendship in a second, but go ahead and talk about your magic hours just in case people aren't familiar.
So we do a tutorial sometimes. It's kind of, I like to have some education on stones. I love learning.
You're a rock hound.
I do love like rock hounding. I'm going to Tucson for many, many years. Collecting rocks, talking about stones, casting. I trained professionally as I went to art school to learn how to paint and draw and sculpt. And I kind of fell backward into the bead industry. I went to, study sculpture, and it turns out, I don't know if y'all know this, but they charge by the pound when you're getting the pieces made. And I don't know if
they were pretty big.
Bronze is expensive. So
it's heavy.
And heavy. So I was like, y'all want how much for some? And so that's when my sculptures were, they were big. And I say big, this is big for me.
Well, that is big for you.
And now they're like this. So that's how I kind of fell into the bead business.
Yeah.
So it's
and
it's
your
good.
your magic hour is every Wednesday and Sunday.
Yes.
Is that right?
Or 7.
4 Pacific, 7% p.m. Eastern. Cynthia and Azalea go live. They sell fun things. They do all kinds of great like demos, and it's always a good time. If I want to hang out with my friends, I just tune in. So Margaret's saying she loves your broadcasts. They're really, really informative, really fun, kind of low key. My mom's saying it's my mom's birthday. It's coming up soon. My mom's like, yeah, I'm going to be 30 in 10 days too. So it's true because my mom was we're practically the same age.
Yeah, exactly.
Just very young.
Yeah, I think you hit 30 and you stop aging.
That's right.
Isn't that the way it goes?
But you know what? It's also a pleasure and a privilege. The more we age, the smarter we get.
The more you learn.
Right?
That's
It's
the
true.
thing is you learn more every day.
It is.
One of the good things about
There,
being alive, I guess.
There was a question. Oh, there's our friend June. June,
Hey, June.
we just packed your order yesterday, June.
Yeah, we were like, because she says, here's an order from June. And we're like, June, we love June. And then we were talking about how we met in Tucson a couple of years ago, which was pretty fun, like in live action, which was, it's nice. We started doing these, like Azalea and I started doing these because we couldn't get out to the shows. And this has been, I kind of love it. Because you get the feeling of being at a show, without having to be and
at a show,
hauling all the hundreds of pounds off of the airport thing.
I'm going to share this. I can't remember who asked. It was for Rockhound Cynthia. Which book do you recommend for stones? This is the one that I have. That I refer to a lot.
Has a lot of photos.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, because a lot of times you're
I really like this one.
I have probably 20, 30 books. I've been collecting them for years.
Mm-hmm.
I have some that have like metaphysical properties and chakra alignments and all that. And my favorite of the ones, this one, you have it already where you're showing it?
Right there.
That's a good one.
Camera.
I love that. This is a good one. There's another one that just came out I want to get a hold of. It's called Minerals of the World.
Oh.
And what you're looking for, you want a book with lots of pictures. You don't want that's full just text only.
Right.
Because sometimes you want to match your stones and say, is this kind of in that color range? Mm-hmm. And then you can see how hard it is. And sometimes that's how I'll test for what a stone is. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? Sometimes you won't, a stone, you'll find it. It's not going to be labeled. So sometimes you got to do like scratch tests. And it's basically you take a harder stone that you know what it is. Say, you know how hard labradorite is. And if one scratches the other, then the one that gets scratched is the softer stone.
It's true.
So
not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Not that hard. Let me also, while I'm thinking about this, today's broadcast is totally disjointed, you guys, and apologies, but we're just having such good times. We're going to get into the product. We're going to get into the product we dropped in just a second. But let me do this before we get any further. You know that you can find us on all our socials. So make sure not only us here at beadshop.com, but jump over and do the same thing for Cynthia and Azalea over at Green Girl Studios. Facebook, our Facebook group is the Bead Table over on Bead Shop. Lots of great customers, lots of great ideas and techniques, and people post those their samples. I know you have a great Facebook group as well. I'm in it.
The Green Girl Studios gang. Yeah. And there are a lot. It's pretty good because a lot of people post the things they're making. So
yeah, it's great.
It's great inspiration. Yeah. If you're ever stuck creatively, go hang out in one of the groups and just see what everybody's making. It's one of the best ways to jumpstart your, if you're like, what do I do with these beads? You're going to get some good idea for a technique or a color palette. You know?
And the cool thing about it is, I think both of these communities, a lot of our bead communities, they're super welcoming, super affirming. It's really great. So it's a great place to hang out. Also on Insta, our beadshop.com Insta, Green Girl Studios Insta, my personal Insta at Bead Kate, if you want to see what I'm up to and my other crafty pursuits. Of course, our Pinterest pages, we're like fully reviving Pinterest again. Emily's the one who really pushes us and goes, oh, let's look at, and I'm all, oh, I always forget about Pinterest.
I don't forget about
Yeah,
Pinterest.
I know.
I used to make boards for the limited corporation, and Pinterest used to be, it's based on inspiration boards that someone would go in and cut out
those
pictures and samples
Crazy.
and little color swatches, and you would paste them all onto, we're going back a minute.
Yeah.
It's before Pinterest.
Yeah.
It's like 20
like yesterday
years
we
ago.
had to school Azalea about going to the library and using the
So she's like, just Google it, Mom. Yeah. And I was like, listen, that is not our go-to. My initial one was, you win an argument or not an argument with the power of your conviction. You're like, no. I know because, 10 years ago, because so we're like doing it. She's like, just Google it. You have all the information in the world. And we're like, we're just not used to that as our first go-to.
Yeah. And I was saying, like, in order to get to the library, you either had to get your driver's license and drive your patootie down to the library because no one's going to drive you to the library, or you had to ride your bike or whatever. But it's like, yes, Carrie Keaton, go to the card catalog.
Is that exactly what you said?
Yeah,
go hit that card catalog.
I know, I did. I said,
Carrie,
go hit it
that's
up.
exactly what Kate said.
So you can find us again on all of our socials at beadshop.com. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you do not miss any content on YouTube and help us reach that 100,000. When we do, I'm going to have the biggest party and you're all invited. And if you have any questions, reach out. info@beadshop.com. Drea is just on the other side of the keyboard, ready to help you go for it. Drea is saying she's been looking for an antique card catalog to store beads in. Well, I've got my bead storage right here behind. It's a little bit messy, but you folks know this one.
You've had this for many years.
At least 25 years, I think.
Yeah, because when I stayed with you a long time ago, you're like, take a gander at this.
That's this.
And I used to love opening that up.
All right.
And I'm like, where is this from?
So fun.
Amazing.
So fun. Let me get this back. Let me take this screen off. And let's get to, while I'm prepping here, Cynthia's going to talk about, we did a drop at midnight. And apologies, we were working yesterday and running around and doing all this business. So apologies if everything isn't as perfect as it usually is. I had to drop in. I didn't hit save on, I don't know. Anyway, the point is everything's good now. You folks are loving everything. We've got the bead blend, this mix, seed bead mix in 8/0, the kelp blend. Let me get you a little dish.
What's good about this is that there's a good mixture of matte and shiny, which I like.
When I made this, and let me highlight this one right here so we can get into it. Why don't you go ahead and pour that out? And so, I love this. Drea has a Hoosier cabinet, an ice box, a 1950s TV. I love it. The card catalog will help it round out. And you got that great tablecloth yesterday. It's awesome. So this is the mix. It's called kelp. It's the, let me focus right here. Let me do this. Let me go back and let me go. There we go.
Get in there. That's good.
So that is the kelp bead blend. And it's a mixture of 8/0. Some of these we don't carry, like the Midnight Magic Orchid we don't carry. And we
kind of looks like labradorite, this clear grayish.
And there's a matte amethyst that's in here too.
It's really pretty.
So when I was choosing this, I was thinking, you know what would Cynthia like? So I made it really with Cynthia's, all of her like art. I've got a lot of her art. I've been collecting it for so long. So this is the kelp bead blend. It's selling fast. You folks, thank you for your support. You know how that small business support means so much to us. And
it is so,
it's everything.
Much.
Everything.
It's like everything. We're like rejoicing.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a lot of orders, we're like, yes.
Yeah. We could not.
We're here another day.
Yeah. Right. We're able to pay our people and buy more beads for you. That's awesome.
Always a delight.
So this is the kelp blend. And then I got just a smattering. Remember when we did the mermaid kit and we had the mermaid button, the piece from Cynthia, right? We used these, the shells, the conch shells. And everybody was like, conch shells? I need these. Sorry. And we're getting manicures tomorrow. I'm sorry. This isn't looking very pretty, but you'll just have to deal. So I got some conch shells in different kind of cool colors. So we've got those. Then I added, remember these ammonites?
I love them.
We used them in the Third Thursday earring kit. We used this one. There weren't any more of these, but we got them in kind of this color too. So we've got some of those. These are new. These teardrops.
You know,
very limited.
Like this has, I don't know if you can see it, but this is kind of like a Peruvian opal color with a pink wash. Pretty. Yeah. I didn't notice it it was kind of dark last night, but I held them up and they're like, if you were to use these in earrings, the light would peer through there and be just so delightful. Good. These melons also felt very coral to me. So this is a 6mm melon. And then we have this kind of opalescent one with the pink wash. So Sin, while I'm getting ready to do this peyote stitch project, would you give everybody some measurements and stuff and play around with those if you don't mind? So all of this, you guys, has dropped in BeadshopSTUDIO. Okay. And the kelp mix also just dropped in BeadshopSTUDIO. Number one, because we were totally running behind. And so I'm like, I'm going to launch this. So we launched it in the studio instead of on the regular site. If you folks, of course, as always, if you have a BeadshopSTUDIO order that we haven't sent out yet, we will go ahead to the best of our ability and combine those orders. And then if there's a shipping overage, we will refund it. Okay. So I promise you, we'll go ahead and do that. Like show the fronts and the backs and show that thickness of those. So again, they're nice and light, but they have a sturdy, good feel. Like these, I've seen these in different colors, but they were mostly kind of an uninteresting sort of dark brown that didn't have this aura finish. And I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah,
they have they're like
a coin almost. You know?
I thought they'd be heavier, but they're nice and light. And my particular favorite is this one.
Oh, perfect. I'll take them. Okay, thanks.
They make good earrings. So these are the earrings Kate made. I'm going to make some when I'm done here.
Yeah, you are.
I like that. And that's a good color.
Yeah,
that's from a previous kit.
Move
that aside. This is like when I'm beading. It's kind of a little bit messy on the board.
Yeah, I like it.
Because usually, Kate, you have them all wrangled up nicely.
Well,
in such tiny little bowls.
Not always, but look at how beautiful this looks. Oh, and Mary is asking, please throw a green tone ammonite and a couple of purple conch with the kelp mix. Let me get you a little something. Let's get a little.
Some little bowls. Yes.
Here. You know where they are? They're actually right here behind you.
Oh, perfect.
Right in there. Look at that. Bam. Oh. Look at that's a good size too. That one. I got that fancy one. Yeah, those.
I like these. I have some of these from the Asian food store. I get little coconut puddings in there.
I'm wearing a Cynthia ring too. This is the snake.
Nice.
With the adjustable. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna open it up just a little bit to fit this finger, but look at with those red ruby eyes. So good. People are saying they love your octopus ring.
Oh, thank you.
Look at all the beautiful stuff.
It's adjustable-ish.
The conch shells on those are making me a little crazy. I really love them. Love them, love them.
You know what? I think these would make, if you like those shoulder duster earrings, you know what this would be good with? You could either put one on the bottom of a threader or, do you imagine that? So it's like kind of like little raindrops falling.
Yeah, and we've got some great chain we've got a bunch of chain back there.
I'll scoop all these guys out.
Yeah, up there.
Bulldoze
And the
them in
question
place.
was, who wanted to see what with what? Let me see that. Oh, a green tone ammonite and a couple of the purple conch. The dark purple, the light purple, in with this mix.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That's what Mary wants to see. Look at how that ammonite.
And the dark purple.
Yeah,
I think it works. Well,
100%. And the conch. The
you did a
purple
good
conch.
job mixing this, Kate.
Not too bad. You know, I think I've got a future in beads.
I think so. I don't
Do you
know.
think?
I think that, with time. Well, you know what, y'all? This is color. This is color theory in action. And
This
a
is
lot of
me
times,
flying by the seat of my pants is what
Well,
it
I
is,
think-
really.
I
But
think also it's just, when you understand color, it's like opening up so much possibility in your work. Yeah, I like those. They're like little tiny melons. Isn't that cute?
10. I love melons.
Mm-hmm. And they have a
Melon
kind of a
floss.
frosty with shiny in the cracks.
Yeah.
So they're like little bitty. What's that melon that has that kind of look? It's a very,
Oh, like a cantaloupe kind
kind
of?
of like a cantaloupe.
Maybe. Kind of cantaloupe-esque. All right. I'm going to go 12 across here. I'm going to move the camera in just a second.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. Let me see
Put that in there. It's pretty too.
if I can swing this over. Do you mind if I switch spots with you, Cynthia?
No problem.
I'm going to slide this over. Cynthia also grabbed some of, and we'll go back to that. She also grabbed some of our freshwater pearls from Bead Shop Studio that look amazing with that new Czech glass. You remember I did, like I said, that the kit that I did with the Green Girl Mermaid button, the tiny mermaid button and pearls and stuff. These go, look at right here.
Mm-hmm. Delightful.
Come on.
Especially,
Good night, nurse. Look at
really,
that's
you could
gorgeous.
pick any of those and that would look
Yeah, it
good.
would be fine.
Earrings, easily.
All right. So, Sherry, you can find everything on the link. You can go right to beadshop.com. They're all in BeadshopSTUDIO. Let me drop the link because it'll go out everywhere. Bear with me here just 1 second. I'm going to grab it. It is right here. It's here. It's under BeadshopSTUDIO. It's right on the homepage. But if you go there and you start scrolling down, my friend, it's all there. There it is there. And then, Cynthia, after I do some of this demo and I work, will you show all the teardrops again and measure them and stuff? But let me get this peyote stitch going. And then we're also going out, everybody, on so many different platforms. We're over on the Great Bead Extravaganza group. We're over on Cynthia and Azalea's group. We're on the Kate Richburg socials and the Bead Shop socials. So we're coming out at you from everywhere. Nice. So let me zoom in just a hair. Get a little tighter here. Now, I'm going to show you this. Peyote stitch is pretty simple. I mean, you can do anything with this A-dot mix, right? It goes together really well. It goes with a lot of stuff. It has, if you go to the page, it has, let me look. It has, I'll tell you how many different beads it has in it. I'm going to scroll down. Kelp, a limited edition mix. It has the listing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different beads. The Magic Orchid and Violet Gold Luster and Matte Silver Lined Amethyst are mix exclusives in this. Okay. So, I strung on, and I've been thinking about this. I was going to start it. I kept saying all day yesterday, I got to get this started. I got to get this started. But did I start it? No. Were we screwing around? Maybe a little bit, but we were working hard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it's good because, I am not, I want to say that I know how to do all these things. And in theory, I do.
But
seed beads and this type of thing confuse me a little bit. So I'm really happy that you're starting from scratch because I get kind of hung up on how to start.
oh, well, I appreciate, this is the Green Girl E class. And you know what? I have, and once you go back to doing all that measuring and stuff when you're on camera, I'm going to look for the other sample that I made with it so long ago. But you've seen me do this peyote stitch with delicas with this. This is one of Cynthia's. I just love this clasp that she made. We call it the small bracelet clasp. It's also known in the industry kind of as an E clasp because it looks like the letter E, right? Like that.
It's good because you can use it with leather.
Yeah.
If you wanted to attach your beadwork to a little piece of leather to cover up your work
and go through. We're going to talk about, I'm going to do a little short piece of peyote, and then we're going to talk about how to attach. So let me show you we've got some in our beading basics and stuff, but let me just tell you what I'm doing here. I'm using Fireline because that's what was out on my table. And I've got a size 12 needle because again, that was also out on my table. The clasp, we have some, we ordered some, you folks loved them. They're going to be gone shortly. But when Cynthia was talking to Greg this morning, I ordered a whole bunch more of these. So if you're watching and we're out of it, put your name on the notification list because they should get to us by the beginning of next week. Okay. So apologies. I thought, of course, you always think you order enough, but you never do. So for peyote stitch here, this is even count. I've gone with 12. I'm going to, this is the mantra, pick up the bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. So that's this one. Now the first row that you are doing of peyote stitch is actually the first 3 rows. Okay, so see how it comes like this. I pull it tight and I make this little kind of letter T sort of here. Can you see that? So now I pick up a bead and I'm just doing this random. This is just kind of random pebbling. I pick up a bead, I skip a bead, I go through a bead. Now remember, your peyote stitch, anytime you're starting a seed bead project and you're stitching, and I have a ridiculously long length of thread.
I was just about to ask you how long
This
do you know how to make it?
This is a yard and a half or something. It's easy to add thread. I was just being ridiculous. So this is even count. This is 12 beads across here. So let's do it again. Let's pick up a bead. Doesn't matter which one. Skip a bead. That's this one. Go through a bead. That's this one.
And you go in through like it's on the strand itself, like
right.
This direction.
So right. So I'm working from right to left here. So let's pick up a bead, skip a bead. When I skip that bead, I usually slide it down and then I'll go through a bead. I didn't even put a stopper bead on here. I'm just holding my thread. Emily would be like, leave it on the edge. Okay, so this, right? So tighten it. And this first one, as you're going, you just kind of have to play with the tension and see how that bead is a little off. So I want to just tighten it up. Once you get your second row on there too, things are going to be a little more even. But see, there we go. That's looking good. Let's pick up a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead.
Move up a little tiny bit.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
I'm watching and learning.
Thank you.
You know, I kind of made a mess and I see where I went wrong with it. I went on the other side of and I wondered, why is this doing this? I know y'all probably thinking, what in the heck? But
so there's that. Yeah, it just takes a little.
It takes some practice, like anything, I think. It's like learning to knit or crochet.
I'm going to do my last section here. Pick up a bead, skip a bead, and go through a bead. So now from working those 12 beads that were on my row, okay, what I've done is I have, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. I've got 3 rows on here. Where's my awl? So I can point. I think it's, where's that awl? Oh, I'll just use this. Here.
Where's this? It's not.
Oh yeah, there's my awl. Yeah.
Oh, that's
my
my
awl.
one.
Yeah, that's
I was
my awl.
looking for a wood handle.
Right. So here, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's half of the first rows I put on. Then this, the second row, the bead that I went through, that's row 2. And the row that I added, that's row 3. So again, this is even count. I started with 12, and the way that I decided on 12 was simply putting on the clasp, or putting the clasp next to it and seeing how wide I wanted it to be. That's it. I'm not going to worry about how I'm going to connect this yet. What I'm going to worry about is doing a little bit of peyote stitch. Then I'll cross this bridge. Okay.
I see another part that I got wrong. I thought that would be 2 rows.
No, this is 3. First row, and then when you work it, you get 3.
I see.
So here's this. So now let's just pop in the 4th row, and then you'll go over the sizes and stuff of all of those. Let me zoom out just whoops, that's not my zoom. That's the Dymo labeler. Don't save. Close that up. Here we go. There we go. Zoom it back.
Miranda she was like, why is it called, what kind of thing is this being called peyote stitch? And I never really thought about it. But then we're like, it has nothing to do with the plant that's succulent. It's more to do with the fact that it was used during the ceremonies for what was it? The indigenous people in the American Southwest.
They did their peyote ceremonies, their tools that they would use would have the beadwork around it, and that's why they have peyote stitch.
That's
nice.
Right. Yeah.
So we started doing some research, and turns out that it was also used in ancient Egypt.
Yes.
And was adorned. You know, they found a lot of beadwork in King Tut's tomb, which I didn't realize it went that back. That ancient.
I saw. I'm dating myself here, but I saw the King Tut exhibit, and you guys have heard me talk about this before because I love King Tut. I saw it when it came in the late 70s to the De Young Museum. My mom and I, my dad, my gran, we had such a good time. It was such a cool thing. So see here, I put my first one in, I go through a bead. So now we'll pick up a bead. The tension here is a little funky. So just stick with me. Go through a bead, pick up a bead, go through a bead, and see now how these little openings, that bead just wants to pop right down into it. So bear with me while I do this second row. It is going to look like the dog's breakfast. It will. Just let it look like it. And then all of a sudden, magically, everything's going to come together. So there's that one. So now we'll pick up a bead in no particular order, skip a bead, which is that one below it, go through a bead, which is the next sticking out one there. So we'll finish this row. I've just got 2 more. This one, pick up a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. And then pick up a bead, skip a bead, go through a bead. Okay, so see here now, I'm pulling it a little bit tighter. So see how this is coming. That curve is going to right itself. So now I'm going to go on to my next row. So can you see this bead is down? I pick up a bead, I skip that down bead, and I go through a bead, that up bead. And this is all the ADOT mix. It's the kelp mix that I made in honor as an ode to our friend Cynthia who's here. We're getting ready for the bead retreat too, my friends.
I'm excited.
We're going to do some giveaways next week. Cynthia's still going to be with me next week. We're going to talk about color and stuff on next week's broadcast. We've got some giveaways for you on that broadcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it goes pretty quickly. You're just picking up a bead. You're popping it in the little hole that it goes to. Tightening it in. This one. Going through. And so this is going to have kind of like a little bit of a pebbled or cobblestoned effect. So now I think this was row 5, maybe.
I tried beading on a loom to get a similar effect, and I had a problem with some of the beads were popping. They weren't on there very well. Like they didn't go through.
Well,
they were some were like loose teeth.
Well, I've got, and I'm going to work on this. This is from way back when. You remember that? This is a loomed piece that I did. But the thing about looming is it's got to be, the tension's got to be right on this. We'll talk about this maybe a little bit next week for fun. Right?
I see a comment of how was the peyote stitch used in the ceremonies. So I remember seeing some ceremonial objects, and one of those objects was a gourd that was attached to a stick, and it had, I don't know what was inside of it.
Like it rattled.
It was a rattle.
Gourd, yeah.
And there was like the handle had peyote, like at the base of the gourd. Yeah. And there was another kind of stitch, I don't know the name of it. Yeah. That was embracing, kind of like a cage around the gourd body. Netting. There it is.
Yeah. So good. So I'm going to keep going with this peyote stitch. Let's change sides again. And Cynthia's going to go over all of the sizes of these and stuff. Okay. So you folks can see that. Let's switch it up. And then we'll talk about some closures and attachments for this. Okay. There we go. Seems like everybody saw a lot of yeah, I've seen it twice. I saw it in the 70s when it came the first time. And then I saw it again in San Francisco when it returned sometime in I don't know, it was probably within the last 10 years. It was cool. So that's the ammonite one. Cynthia,
I love it.
Right?
So this is about 18 mil. Let's see how thick it is. I love this tool. I know. Almost 5 at the highest point.
It's nice.
It's thicker than it looks.
And that the design, the mold had the pattern on both sides. So
yeah, that's a good one. And let's see, how big are these conch shells? I love them because they have the luminosity of a shell.
Aren't they good? They really so do. Good. They're so detailed.
So that's about almost 15, just shy of 15.
Yeah. And the whole size, this will all fit like a 22 gauge wire, maybe even a 20 gauge.
It's a pretty, that looks like the hole's almost like, let's see, probably. Here.
I've got these from my wire masterclass.
A little over. Or no, is that a millimeter?
Here's a 20 gauge wire. Let's test it.
Yeah, easy. So I don't know if you can tell from on camera, but these are kind of opalescent, like a milk glass. I can't decide which is my favorite. You know, I love milk glass.
I do too.
This is also has that kind of milky goodness. It's like a leche, I would call that.
Yeah, that's the honey opal.
Beautiful. And it has a little bit of AB on it.
Yeah.
To give it some extra
it does
sparkle.
Have that. Look at that AB.
You know, it's like those shells we found in Montero. Remember they had that kind of turban?
Those little turban shells. Yeah.
We had the best time last time we were here and picked up a bunch of those shells.
Yeah.
So these little melons are about just over 6 mil.
Yeah. And they're kind of like, that one is the 2-color glass that kind of looks like coral to me.
It does.
And then that has like a bronze wash.
They have a metallic in the creases. So this blush I would call that like a light amethyst color.
Yeah, and it has that pink wash. And that's that's a 20 gauge wire that Cynthia's holding.
Is this a separate colorway? Is this white or is that
No, that's part of the
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 pink.
multicolor has all of these. Yeah.
So look at the color differences. You get kind of, it does have, you know what it does look like, coral.
Yeah. That's what I got it because it felt like to the sea for me.
Mm-hmm. You know what would
What
be
can I
good
help you
with
find,
this?
Azalea?
I was just looking for beading needles that were the right size that you would.
Oh, what size? Here, look. Here, use this size 10. These will work too.
Thanks, Kate.
There's a whole bunch of size 10 right there.
I was trying not to be
Bam.
disturbing.
It's all right.
Yeah, I would put this, you know what color would look really pretty with this? Is sort of, if you were to use a knotting technique, you could get a really beachy, beautiful look.
You know, we
With-
have such good silk colors, and you could do
That's
a
real
really
good.
good. Let's see. Do I have my box of silk sitting here? I know I
Mm,
should keep peyote stitching, but you said knotting, and I went,
You're like, and
oh, see way down there? That's silk. See that box? The silk?
Mhm.
Pull that
Silk
out.
would be pretty. Nylon would be pretty. You could
And
go in
look, we
with,
could do that with these. Look, look. Oh, let me zoom out. Let's make sure it's silk that we have, because that's my like full-on collection. But look at these. Look at the pearls there. We'll put those there. And
this
this
colors.
here, this one we carry this. We carry this.
You
We
have a good
carry-
collection. Is this silk?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We carry this.
Love it.
We carry
You know what I want to do with
just
this?
white. Kiss it.
Yeah. And hold it. It's
your new
so
best friend. Whoops,
delicious.
You're gonna have to wind this up. Look at that.
That pretty.
That's-
I love that pink. And you could
we
dye
carry
the white
that. Oh,
if you really
the blue
wanted
is there.
to.
Oh, 100% you could. Did I give you light blue?
Ombre. Oh,
Look at
that's
that
the
light
icy
blue,
goodness. Look
right?
at that one.
I mean, we carry more colors than this, but this is just what I have right here to look
Mhm.
at.
I didn't know that they sold it or that it came in big spools
So,
like this. I thought it only
exactly.
came in little cards.
The cards have kind of gone the way of the dodo, to be honest. Janice and I have, oh, look at this one. This raspberry. We've got that too.
Luscious.
So now the silk, Janice and I have been pearl knotting. I mean, you know, we've been knotting for forever. And for a while, back in the day when we had Bead Shop as a brick and mortar, and then I had Bedissimo in San Francisco, we carried silk in all the little, on the cards,
Mhm.
right? All of that. It came in a billion colors. There was a tanzanite color that was my favorite that they don't make anymore. Anyway, then it kind of fell out of fashion. And so Janice and I spoke to one of our suppliers. We're like, where's the silk? And they're like, well, we actually kind of got some back in by the spool. And I'm like, give it to me.
Mm.
So, oh, I see here. This is where I screwed up. So I, oh, there we go. So we ordered some in. So we've got a pretty good, mix
Yeah, it's beautiful. So pretty.
of, and that's all. I like using the size F, because I like my knots to be a little bit bigger.
So would you think I was goofy if I said that I wanted to embroider with this?
Not at all. You could embroider with that, 100%.
Because I think silk is like nothing else when you
Yeah.
embroider with it. You can
Yeah.
always, I mean, it has that sheen.
No, I agree. That's a really good idea. I never really thought about that.
Mm.
Though I do have some like silk ribbon for ribbon embroidery and stuff. Okay, I went wrong somewhere. There's something weird right there, so I'm going to pick this out. Would you go over the color of the drops, Cynthia?
Sure.
People want the drops. They're like, yeah, this silk is great, but give me.
Let's go talk about them drops.
Yeah.
All right. I love the shape. I would put these. I
And
was
the
just
drops are
looking at
two-sided.
them.
They're flat.
They're flat, two-sided. Let's look at the size. These are about 15 millimeters, I would say. That's pretty close to 15 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And about, let's see, it says at the highest point, it's 4.4. So there's a little raised area right here in the middle. So they're, it's a good size.
So
they don't weigh anything.
No, and
they're
Cynthia,
so light.
We've got these show it with these dot head pins that we carry.
Okay.
The dot head pin is it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. That dot, and I use it a lot. Does it fit in there? If you straighten it out,
I was just straightening it because it's a little.
Do you need a wire straightener?
No, I got it.
Okay. You know what to do.
There you go. That reminds me of those earrings in Howl's Moving Castle, where Howl has those little teardrop earrings.
Look at how great it looks like on that drop.
You know what I want to do? I think it would be pretty to have them attached.
Here, wait.
Like that. I don't know. I want them to wiggle.
Wait. Look at this.
I want to wiggle.
Here. Look at with dangling off that paperclip chain. That's
pretty. That's a good idea.
Look at this one.
You know what? That would go. I've been seeing a lot of charm necklaces.
Oh my gosh.
And this is giving me that vibe. When we were just doing a show in Asheville called The Big Crafty, it's a lot of young people, and I am not exaggerating when I say, what was it? Every fifth person had some variation of a chain and things based on that chain.
That is simplicity, that chain.
This is a good looking chain. I'd make earrings with this.
Yeah, it'd be good earrings.
It's a good earring. Almost like a threader. Almost. That I wouldn't try to drag that through my ear holes.
No, I would put it on a thing.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think it could be. You could, if you wanted to do, you could easily
give you some chain.
Pop that closed with. Do you have that new tool that makes a? What do they call that tool? That looper, super looper.
You know what?
One-step looper.
I do not use it.
You don't need it.
No, learn how to make your loops. I know a lot of people do, and more power to you.
I think
if you like the one-step looper. I mean,
I think it's if you have issues with your hands.
Yeah.
If you have hand issues, something like that, or if you can't, because you just feed it through.
I know some people love it,
and then there you go. So
there
if you don't have the hand dexterity, that's a good way to get back into wire wrapping, and it's especially good for something like earrings. But I agree. I don't need extra tools.
Yeah.
But you know what? Are these? Do you carry these as silver or is this plated? What is this?
That's the antique. So we carry them in all the flavors. All of it.
It looks good with that.
Yeah, I just grabbed the silver one because that was right there.
Right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So I would put those. Could you imagine? You could put like different colors.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
Mermaid necklace you could do with different shapes. Oh, our friend Clem. Hello, Clem.
Yes. So much. Gosh, there's 200 of you watching. Thank you all so much. I had to go back and fix my.
I think earrings with wire wrap. One loop at the bottom would be good.
Right.
One at the bottom. I'm gonna make them.
Right. So good.
I'll do it right now. Although if you had lighter ones, I would use them just so you're not using your heavy duty.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, are these two different? These are two different colors. I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's when I was looking at them, I kind of thought that was just the side.
This is the crystal Labrador, and that's the turquoise with pink wash, I think.
Yeah. I love this blue. It's like Peruvian opal color.
It is.
And
Peruvian
this one
opal.
has
now I'm back
blue
on the straight
wash on I guess I can't really tell what color that is, like a pale gray underneath.
Oh, and they want to see the red turquoise drop. That I love.
This one has a swirl. Let's see if you can see that as well. Here, get in there.
Love. Let me zoom. There we go.
Do you see that patterning that's running across the top of it?
So good.
And then the details are popped with a light wash of a metallic light blue. It's a good a good color combo.
Agreed.
This would go well. Look at this together. This would be pretty.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'd put that drop underneath it.
Oh, See, you could do it this way. Look at that story. Yes. You could go this way. The sky's the limit. And just by changing it, you can get a different feel. You could, where's that? I thought I saw, oh, is that one? There's a little bit of color variation. That's one of the things I like about them. Even though they're technically the same, it's a natural, like glass has natural, like striations through it. Let's see what that would look like with it. I like it. I think it's pretty. This would be good with this one.
Yeah, with the tones and stuff on there, these beads, since they do have so much going on the surface, it is kind of hard to see like their real color. So it's great to be able to share this with you on the video so you can kind of get a feeling for how these look. How are we doing on time? Not too bad.
You know what would be good? These drops. I think I want to put them so that they're almost like raindrops. Could you imagine, like, let me see, what would be cloud-like?
This is hilarious. Sharon, 2 ADHDs trying to have a conversation. You think?
Oh
my gosh. You have not been.
She's going to say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you. You should see us when we're running around.
Fire. We're like, oh my God, we could do this.
This.
And it's, you know what? We call it the creative explosion because you can't help but get your mind blown.
No, it is.
And you almost can't. There's almost too much, but in a good way. I like it. I like the feeling of rejuvenation, of being around fellow artists and women folk. That's one of the things that's nice about retreats is when you're in the company of other artists. It's like a magical.
Yeah.
It's something like it's a synergy almost.
It is. Though any group of creatives, it could be women, men.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Sure.
As long as the commonality. Oh, Sharon Seg. She wasn't talking about us. She was talking about her and Carrie Keaton.
Oh.
Chatting in the thing. But it is true.
Yeah. It's, you know.
I'm going to do a couple more rows, Cynthia, while you play around with those. And then we're going to talk about closure. We're going to give this closure. Oh, see, Carrie says, I love that Kate is thinking that we're talking about them, so they're off the hook. It's true. You know, when we get together, I'm telling you, we come away with so many ideas. It's not even funny.
Is that too matchy? What do y'all think?
I don't think so.
Too matchy?
Sometimes I like a monochromatic palette.
I know. Sometimes it's really, it just works. But
yeah, and it breathes like, I always think monochrome breathes fancy. You know? It has a touch of, as I like to say, fancy pants about it. You know what I'm saying?
Like something small right at the top. What did I put there?
Yeah.
Maybe something.
Or here, look at
something.
Here, I've got those 8/0. You can use 8/0 from my mitt.
Oh, right. That's a good idea. Let's see what would fit that palette.
I also have
these kind of beautiful. Look at this one there. I think I'm going to try and get a hold of it. It's like a greenish.
Do it
clear.
I mean, you can use just about anything.
Getting your blow on. Yes, Robin. Yes. Well, that's because we were watching some. Chris is very good at playing video DJ. Yeah, so Chris played video DJ, and we had some really great sushi, and then we were just like talking and laughing, and I cannot confirm or deny that I was adding product late, and which is why there may or may not have been a couple of mistakes, but I got those rectified. You know, when you have a business, you're always working, right? 100% of the time. Sin. Yeah, it's not. So we were having fun. 8-hour stretches. No, we have like 8-day stretches. It's like you can pick, you know, when you own your own business, you can pick whatever 12 hours of the day. Yeah, Drea's like, she can confirm that. Drea was like texting me this morning. She goes, should that say 6 millimeter
or 16 millimeter like you've written in the description. I'm all, yeah, that's not 16 millimeter, that's 6. Andrea's like, I'm on it. So, you know,
the greenish one, that's Margaret's saying, the greenish one. Oh, yeah, that is kind of a green.
That is why, that's the beauty of a small business for sure, is you're a small team, you work together, you get a team from another business that you've known, you work together. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also, Andrea, it's not a mini mix. That's right. It's the full 22 grams, not the mini mix size. So you get a big tube. You folks didn't care. You bought it. You're like, I know when Kate makes a mix. I know what that looks like. So thank you. It was just, you know, we are getting ready for the bead retreat as well, my friends. And so this week is just nuts. So of course we had to have a studio drop in the middle of it too. Margaret wants to say what's that color called? Which one? The drops?
I think she's talking about the green.
That's that ammonite.
It's a kind of natural ammonite kind of color, isn't it?
I can figure out which one it is. Yeah, blue alabaster. That's what that one is.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's greenish.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that sometimes colors when there are several colors are kind of hard to name. It's the fun part, I think. It's like naming nail polish.
Stop naming nuts.
Stop naming nuts, Holland Pepper.
Holland Pepper.
Azalea's like, what are you guys doing?
Naming
I'm like, listen,
nuts.
I have not been doing my job as your mom to let you. How have you not watched Best in Show?
Okay, so Drea's saying, line them up, all the ammonites. Would you line them up left to right? And Drea will figure out what they are. Please and thank you.
Perfect.
And Katney wants to say that teardrop one, would you make a loop on that tiny piece left over? It looks really small.
Which one? I'm just throwing things around to see what's what.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. I saw a comment that said teeny, like put the loops between, and I was just thinking to myself that would make an excellent.
Do you want some
earring.
eye pins? Here, there's all of these are right here. Then all of the head pins and eye pins are right here behind you. So do you like the antique silver? I can give you another color. Here's eye pins and antique silver. Nope. Antique. Nope. Bright silver.
You know what? Where's some just regular wire? And I'm just going
right
to make
here.
them.
Here.
Oh, here we go. Right, right in front of my eyes.
Do you want? That's 20. Is that too thick? Do you want 22?
This?
Here's 22.
Perfect.
All right, bam.
There we go.
There. Look at that. Done. Let me give you these. This. I think that'll do it. Oh,
yeah, that's all
here.
I need.
These.
Oh, yeah, I need to be able to cut.
Yeah, good. Drea, do it. And Curtis, hi, my friend Curtis. Curtis is asking, would the turquoise drop and the blue ammonite go together?
Let's talk about it.
Look at that.
Possibly.
I like it. I also really like.
Although I would like
one.
it with more of this, what I think would be a better match.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, because you have this shade. I mean, it's not bad, but I think this works a little better.
Yeah,
Don't
I
you
agree.
think?
Because this is kind of the inverse of that.
Right. So you have a little bit of blue here and a little orangey, brownish here that would kind of balance this section. But, it could. It just depends. I think this one would be a little bit, or maybe this is the one you're talking about because it's a little bit pink. Maybe.
That's
possible.
pretty too.
Something that would pick up this coppery tone that's in there would be nice.
Yeah, agreed. You know how I love copper. Copper's my jam.
I love it.
All right. While you're doing that, the turquoise drop with the clay. That one. That also looks good. Look at this one.
It's like a nice terracotta.
I like that too.
There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential.
Okay, while you're working on that, I'm going to get this ready to show people the next. Okay, that, or I need some, hold the phone, hold the phone.
Now, if you were making, sometimes you can do a wrap all the way around. I usually do that. Let's just do it. Sometimes I look at those loopers and then like how some folks would just cut it. I mean, it's not load bearing. How do you feel about that? Let's just do it. I'm gonna cut it.
Yeah. Do whatever. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll make what I call a rosary loop.
Mm-hmm. Because you're not, it's not a, I feel like you don't want to do that if it's on something that is going to be used for, like, it's like connecting, because they just pull apart. If you're like on a,
Look at this blend of the Ceylons.
Ooh.
Those are just sitting there.
Gorgeous.
Look at that.
Yeah. I like it with this.
Yeah. You could macrame. Those
macrame. You could do knotting.
I need to get some ultra suede. I need some ultra suede, Cynthia.
Okay. What do you guys think? Should I put these all the same, match them, or let's see, we could do this. That's a possibility. What's the best? Or, you know what I want to do? I want to do this. This is what I want to do, but I don't know if I want to keep it in that same palette. Or even like this, or this. Karen's asking the size of the drop. About 15. Yeah, or 14 and a half would be the closest.
I'm also just getting some plain chain right here. Let me show you. This is just like necklace chain, right? This would make such, right? Just like a simple, you were saying so many charm necklaces. Look at just the conch shell on a chain. Come on.
Oh, that's pretty.
Just as part of your layering stack.
I did see quite a few young gals wearing this type of look.
So pretty.
One bead. It's all, like, if you're doing,
if you're
doing like a, what they used, remember when everyone was calling it the neck mess?
Yeah, I like the
You remember that talk?
I do.
That would be if you were watching the show H2O and you wanted to be a mermaid.
Look at that.
Yes, Azalea wanted to be a mermaid.
Look at that. So while you're playing around with this, can I switch places with you?
Sure.
May I? And I want to talk about closure. I want to bring about some closure.
There you go.
All right. Look how pretty these look.
Mm-hmm.
Look at just together like that.
I like them. They have a nice matte, shiny,
they have a nice feel
variation
to them.
I kind of want these. Is it crazy that I kind of want those in like a grape cluster?
No, not at all. Look at how nice that. And then look at this. If you throw in,
ooh,
right, like a little treasure.
It is
a little treasure shell.
Such a treasure.
I love this honey.
That one's your favorite, and I think that one's mine too. But maybe I like this pale lavender. I think that's because it's just like those shells we found.
Yeah.
Although the bunch of them were actually that color.
Yeah.
And then when they wore down,
they can't see it.
you get the inside of the shell, which is a different, lighter color.
These are cool. And these, friends, when these are gone, these are gone. We're not getting these back. We might get different colors, but I don't think these are pretty limited, which is why I dropped them in the studio and not on regular bead shop, because super limited. Okay. So, just FYI, that was my thinking behind that. Anyway,
Well, a lot of times the Czech glass, since it's made by kind of like small factories, the colors, they kind of like, it's like a fashion, some of that stuff, just like remember when we used to love that one glass, that, what do they call it? Antique ivory, like glass makers.
Yes.
I still can't get it anymore.
I have some of the old. That was my favorite glass.
Me too. I loved it. I loved it with cerulean blue.
Yes. All of that good old lamp worked.
And since it's made with natural materials, sometimes you can't get it. It's like pigments.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to rethread my size 12 needle on this side. Let me get it closer into my line of vision. But I've just done a little strip of the peyote stitch here, right? We're going to just pretend that this is longer, but we're just going to use this short piece. And yeah, all the pieces that Cynthia's working with, they're all Czech pressed glass. Really nice, heavy, not overly heavy, but substantial beads. Okay. So I'm going to take a leaf out of the Danielle Wicks playbook. And remember when Danielle used her, and you can use the Danielle Wicks ending for this too, like she did. I think I've got that bracelet. It was sitting here somewhere. Hang on, I think it's over there. You folks keep looking at that. Take a screenshot if you want.
It's so perfect. I look away for a few minutes and then it looks like that, all stacked up and lovely.
No, I'm a pretty good peyote stitch. There it is. Here's one of Danielle's right over here. Let me show you. I love the E-clasp though that Cynthia makes, and that's the one I'm going to earmark for this. But I also wanted to remind you, remember Danielle came on and did her really fantastic project. So this would also look good. It'd be very similar, right, with this closure right here. You could also, like with Green Girl, with the Green Girl buttons, you could stitch a Green Girl button right into here, right? So it would sit on top. Do you have one of those eye buttons that we don't? Oh, look, there's Azalea's. And Azalea's doing this one. And did you do color blocking, Azalea?
Yeah, a little bit.
See, so Azalea did a little more color sense, which looks really good.
Thanks.
Look at how nice, look at the difference. It's subtle, but it's really nice.
I like this.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like more.
I know, this is really terrific. So let's say that if you had, I don't have a Green Girl button. Do you have one? Even that eye one, I'm going to get it. Is there a button over there?
I have one in my pocket.
Oh, Cynthia has one in her pocket. Hang on.
I always have something in my pockets.
So this is that star eye button that I want to actually get to carry. But see how there's a shank on the back? You could just go in and use it in the place of a few beads, right? Stitch it in, stitch it in. So then it would just sit right in line, and sit a little lower with the peyote stitch. Does that make sense? Right? Like that. So it's a way to add kind of a charm to this. I really like this button too. You have it in pewter?
I do.
All right. Well, we'll get this button. I like
a good
it a
one
lot.
for a clasp. I use it on my treasure necklaces.
Oh, I like it a lot. But yeah, look at the subtle difference. Look at what Azalea did with this piece here. Let me get that all. Can you see? This is that cranberry. She did a line of that cranberry, a line of the frosted amethyst, a line of that lichen or the green, of the silver lined. So see, it's really subtle, the patterning in there. And you can see this has just no rhyme or reason to it. So it's really fantastic.
Thanks.
I love it how it feels.
Yeah, it feels really good. So what Danielle did with this piece, right? What she did was this top right here, she used 11s. and she made the top even. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do here. We're going to come in and 2 11/0. I think that's what she used. Maybe she used 15s instead, but I'm going to use 11s. Let's see what that looks like. Because I don't want to go down too far a size.
Oh, so it kind of, it makes it like a dart.
Right. Well, it makes it, it's not a dart yet. What it does is it makes it an edge that doesn't go up and down, right? It fills in the peyote stitch spot right there. See that? So if I were doing this with 8s, it would have a big stand up. Let me go here. It would have a big stand up gap there that you would put the size 8 bead into. But instead, the size 11 makes the line on top continuous.
Oh, that's smart.
Right? You with me?
I get it.
2 size 11s in the spot. 2 size 11s.
So it's not like a loose, it's not like snaggle teeth.
Correct. It's like smooth line. It's like Invisalign. I don't know. That wasn't a very good
Did you get 2 on that one?
I did.
2. It's a neat technique.
Make sure.
I'm going to try it later.
So then here we go. So now what we're going to do is this. Watch me here. All right. Sorry. I'm there. All right. So see, now I've got a nice even go across. Now I'm going to go 1 bead and go through the 2. So I'm going to step down a size. I'm just making this up. This could all end in tears. So I'm going to put 1 bead on where the 8/0 is sitting. Gosh, I can't see at all. Where that 8/0 is sitting, instead of another 8/0, I'm putting on an 11. Get this out of there. And what I did, I'm stitching with the tail here.
So you left a good long piece at the end or at the beginning.
I did. So 1, see, I'm using that one. Oh, no, I have to go through this bead. That's the one I went through the 2. 1 on, go through those 2. So now I'm adding like darts. I'm tightening everything up. I'm reducing the closure. Peyote stitch is my other spirit animal. I'm not super strong with other seed bead stitches, though I do them and I like them. Peyote stitch really is kind of second nature to me. And I don't know if it's because it was the first seed bead stitch I used. All right, so now see how you've got those singles in there, right? Now, what do you think I'm going to do?
Pull it tight. Is this the same thing that you use to like hold down a cab, but sewing it to a piece of leather? Is that the same thing?
Not, well, sort of. Yeah. So let me show you. So here, this 11/0, remember there were 2 down there? Now I'm going to put 1 and go through that 1.
Those little holes.
Yeah, they are a little here. The first stitch is always wonky. There we go. And now a single. So I'm reducing. That's the thing about peyote stitch is because for freeform, I do a lot of, well, I wish I could do more, but I love freeform peyote.
I want to learn that next.
It is so, I'll show you a couple of beads.
I've seen you do it, and it's one that I like the look of. It looks magical.
It does look magical. So see how this is zipping this up a little tighter? You have to kind of be patient with this. It takes a couple of rows for it to normalize. So just hang in here with me for a second because I want to show you what I'm going to do with the clasp. You don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want everything to bunch. See, like that end one is being a little persnickety, but we're just going to, now we'll flip it. I'm going to go a little more at Kate's speed here. So now I just have like a 1, 1, 1. So we're going to go 1. So we went from an 8/0 to a 2-drop 11/0 to a single 11/0. And now we're putting another 11/0 on.
Decrease.
We're decreasing. Exactly right. This. Because that hole, the opening in the E, I want something really flexible to go around that opening.
Move up a little bit.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start to reduce and leave off the edges. So I've got a strip that's about that wide. Okay. Sorry about that, my friends, that I was out of frame there.
Just for a sec.
Let me move that up. There we go. That's better. Okay. So I'm going to keep working on that, reduce it so it's about this width, then do that peyote strip, wrap it around and stitch it to the back. Then what I'm going to do here for this side is, because this is a nice slim opening, I want it to be an 11/0 when it goes through on the other side. You're going to see more of this next week. I'll finish this when Cynthia and I are back. But that's that right there. You can take a screenshot. Okay. This is just me. Again, where did I have this thought this morning? In the shower.
Perfect.
Right. And so, you could also use, I was thinking, I got some ultra suede. We could stitch it, like you were saying, Cynthia, to that ultra suede.
Oh, yeah. Ultra suede.
You know? Oh, yeah. Show your little earring.
Or like leather or something. Whatever you have. You could use even a piece of ribbon.
Yeah.
If we're thinking about the same thing.
Yeah. You would just stitch it. Here.
What do you all think about this? This is with the... I think it looks good. Kind of like raindrop.
This is my treasure trove. I'll show you this since we're all over the flipping place today.
It's like my show. I show so many things all the time. Looking over your shoulder, see what's what. Oh.
Let me zoom out. Now we're going in a completely other direction, but it does have to do with peyote stitch. This is a great jumping off point, and you could even use some of these in something like this. Let me get these, one of these, one of these. These ammonite, I'm just in love with.
Well, okay. I love the fossils themselves.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes those can be
so pretty, so simple.
Pricey.
So look, these are old school.
Oh my God.
Freeform peyote.
Love it.
Work in the same colorway much, Richburg? This is
just
years of just making them. Right? But something like this, again, this is freeform. I'll show you freeform sometime. And I've done it before, right? But look at how you could even glue. These are all wood beads in the base.
That feels like an object of power.
Right? You could even glue something down on here or stitch it in, you know, and that would be kind of like a focal. It's pretty cool.
Yes. If you were to make a nice long treasure necklace with that.
I love this one. It looks kind of like a weird pod.
Good times right there.
Look at the stripe.
You could do one where it's
stripe.
Oh, that's good too. Oh, Margaret says dragon eggs.
Yeah. Look at that one.
I want to make some of those. Those look delightful.
You know, and this is just how Emily did that Super Duo bead when she showed it earlier this week. Here we go. And look at a color palette the same way much. Look at that.
Well, we have a similar
Tried or
sensibility.
true. Tried and true. Look at how great these look. Even like a smaller one like this.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Doesn't that look good?
Oh, what if you did one of these that were kind of like a cloud, so it's raining?
Yeah, that would be cool. Right?
Carrie's asking if there's a handout or tutorial.
You know, I did a show. Drea, maybe you can find it. I will schedule. I'll do a free form. Maybe we'll do it. Drea, we had an open date towards the end of the month, I think. Maybe I'll do freeform peyote stitch bead then.
They almost look like tapestry. You know, there's a lot of possibility with that.
Nothing is off limits.
The color variations you could do. So where do you start on something like this? Is it just start from one end?
No, I start on the equator.
Oh.
And work my way out.
Do you glue it to make it stay there?
Nope. I'll show you. It's a tricky, well, I'll tell you what it is. And then I'll show you. You get this bead and you wrap warps around it. So it has an armature around it. Like this, right? And then you do the peyote and those armatures that you've made, that web across here, holds everything in place.
Oh my God, that's
I'll show you. We'll do it. I'll do it at the end of the month. So thank you. These are not old turquoise. You know what this is, Cynthia. Feel it.
Let me hold it and I can tell you.
You know what it is.
Oh, is it like those lychee candies we had last night?
It's polymer clay.
That's polymer.
That I made to look like.
And you know what? From just looking at this,
remember those days?
I would have said I was about to say, yeah, that's old turquoise. But you know what?
Remember when I was really into making these? I used to do a class with these when I started it at the bead shop brick and mortar. It was really fun. These were, they're turquoise. I mean, they're polymer. So let me show you this one. Essentially, you guys, it's pretty easy. This is a technique from Tori.
Is that real turquoise there?
Yeah, this is real turquoise.
Let's compare it so you guys can see how close it is.
There's from my collection of real. So this Tori Hughes, you remember Tori Hughes? May she rest. She's passed on. I took a class at Embellishment from Tori Hughes way back, even before I started teaching. And she did this imitative polymer clay. And I was in love. So essentially what you do is you mix the turquoise color with your polymer, you bake it, and then after it's baked, you roll it in you paint it with like some, what's that, liquid text? Like the burnt umber or raw sienna. Acrylic. You paint it with acrylic, and then you wipe it off with a paper towel, and you roll it in actual dirt. So the dirt sticks to your acrylic paint. And then you kind of rub everything off. You kind of play around with it here like this. Then you take a polishing cloth after it's all dry and everything. You take a polishing cloth and kind of polish it a little bit. And that's it. So that's why this looks so real, because there is like dirt and stuff in there. See, this one I carved my initial in it.
That looks good.
Right, but see, all here around the equator. And what you do is you get the polymer and you get one of those little mini chopper, and you chop it so it's all like little pebbles. Then you kind of push those pebbles together, and that's what, you don't blend it all. And that's what makes this matrix. And so you can use a little bit of black polymer in there too. These were fun. I'll have to show you folks how to do it. Maybe I'll do it on some weekend day or something where we're just playing. But it is fun. I did some
I want to do it
ivory.
now.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, so thanks. So this is my collection. I've been working on this forever. Oh, and Drea found it.
Oh, good.
Making freeform peyote beads. I think it's when I made these.
I want to watch it.
I think is when I made it. It's really, really fun. It's really fun. But yeah, dirt, coffee grounds. But the secret is rubbing on that acrylic paint after they're baked. They look like the dog's breakfast. They look terrible. Get that acrylic paint, really get it all on there so it looks like a blob with just the acrylic paint on. Then you get your paper towel and you wipe it off like that. Wipe it off, wipe it off, wipe it off. Let it dry. Then you roll it in the dirt. Let it dry and just kind of take it off like that a little bit. Right? Yes, the lapis. I've done the lapis with the gold foil. Yeah, same.
I have a version I have to teach you, Kate, of how to make ones that look like Roman glass.
Yes, please. Maybe we do that for our next retreat. This would be fun for the next retreat to make these.
It's fun.
Wouldn't it? Okay. Gosh, we've gone all over the place today, haven't we?
I've been having a good time. I don't know about y'all, but it's fun. It's fun being here.
I'm gonna switch spots so people can see that. Let me do this right here. If you want to take a screenshot, now's the time. Let me focus it and you can screenshot here. There we go. That's a pretty good screen. Let me scroll out a little bit. Yeah, the Roman glass version, people are super into it.
Let's do it whenever you're ready.
So there we go. Take a good screenshot there, and I'm going to switch places with Cynthia.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, my mom says she's got some that I made with metal pressed to the surface. Oh, well, here, you've seen this necklace before we switch it up. This is all polymer, too. Faux resin, faux amber. See, dirt. I've cut little things here. This looks like the old, right? I just put a little bit of wire in there. Here's faux ivory, or fibery, as we like to call it.
That's even better than the real.
Right, exactly. So that was the necklace that we made of it. But you've seen this before. Let me switch places so you folks can see what our Cynthia's making.
Okay.
And then I'll give you these. Do I varnish them? I do not varnish them, Jeanette. I polish them. What I do is I use like a muslin buff, and I buff them super, super lightly, and it makes them shine.
You know what's good? Get yourself a cheap.
You would know this. This is right up your alley.
Oh yeah, I taught polymer clay for I don't know how long, for forever. You get yourself a buffing wheel from Harbor Freight that's like $20.
Yeah, right.
And put cotton pads on there, and you'll be cooking with gas.
You go to town. That's
be done in no time. And you know what? The best part is that the varnish is not going to wear off. It's the actual clay is being polished.
Yeah. It's really fun to do. And you need to have a light touch when you're here. I'm going to move this up a little bit. There we go. When you're buffing with the buffer, you need to have a light touch with it. Tori Hughes is the woman who kind of pioneered this along with Glenn Gibson. Both have since exited this mortal coil. Both really gifted polymer clay artists. If you look up Tori Hughes imitative polymer techniques, you'll start a lot of you'll find a lot of cool stuff. Heather over at Humble Beads, she does some great stuff with polymer too, for sure. Show me what you got there, Cynthia. Do you like look this? At how simple that is.
It's simple, but you get a little bit of movement, just a little bit of.
And this bead is like
delightful.
Yeah, Oh, look at how much we've gone over. It's 12:15 already.
Oh,
Holy cow, you guys. I know, we got to go.
we've been having a good
Oh,
time.
we've got so much to do today. So let me get us back up here too. Let me tell you, yeah, it's been, let me stand up so I'm not super like low down
I'm gonna
here.
have to find some Everclear.
What are we going to do?
We're
What,
going
we
to put
throwing
it
a
in
party?
my alcohol lamp.
Oh.
Because, I don't know if y'all know this, but denatured alcohol is not something you can find in California.
We can't.
I
We might have Everclear here. I think Chris might have wanted to make some kind of
And I just need
tincture or
enough
something.
for my alcohol lamp.
Mhm.
And denatured alcohol is a clean, hot burning fuel. So I was going to show some wax techniques
At the
retreat.
At the retreat.
It's going to be a good
It's going to
time.
be fun.
Oh, look, it could be. You know what? You could do a mix, asymmetry.
Mm-hmm.
Could be interesting.
So pretty. Let me put these away
Is that weird?
for another outing. No, I like asymmetrical earrings.
I know, me too.
So good. All right, my friends. Well, you've seen all of this stuff. It's in Bead Shop Studio. Our new Czech glass. It's a limited drop. So that's there. No, the Walmart doesn't have it. We don't carry it in California.
Yeah, sure. You just
can't get it.
It's banned.
Mm-hmm.
It's banned.
Cannot get denatured alcohol. It's sold under some other names. You use it for like marine varnish and stuff like that.
Up, but they've just used to be, but now I went deep this morning hunting for it. I was like, I'm going to find it. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find it. And then I was like, let's figure out what it is, and maybe I can go mix some up in the backyard.
Right, exactly.
And that was like, okay, where am I going to get some of this stuff? So
yeah. But it just needs to be lamp fuel. So we just need enough for my lamp. We don't need a whole big bucket full. No. It's not the Spanish Inquisition, as Janice likes to say. Well, speaking of Janice, my friends, she's gonna be here with us on the retreat. Cynthia and I and Azalea are driving over on Friday. So no free tip Friday this week, you guys. I can't fit it all in. We just can't. But tomorrow, Cynthia and I are going to be back. I'm going to do the third Thursday earring kit. That's coming tomorrow on regular Bead Shop. That's coming, featuring Cynthia's bird drop. So we're going to do some more stuff. We'll be on for a short broadcast tomorrow. Cynthia's going to be on her channel today, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to try and pop in and do a little bit of broadcasting from the retreat. Though connectivity up there, I've tried to do it before and connectivity is not great, but I'm going to try. We'll keep in touch. Watch our socials. Then next week, Cynthia's going to be back on our Wednesday show. We've got some giveaways. Cynthia did the logo for our retreat bags. Look at how pretty that logo is that Cynthia did. We're going to have a couple of retreat bags to give away. We're going to have a couple of my mom's notebooks that she made for the retreat to give away next week. We're going to do it all live. We're also, don't forget, my friends, to comment. Let me put this up. We're trying to reach that 100,000 subscribers. I was going to say $100,000. That too.
That would be nice. That'd be
oh my gosh.
Better.
Yes, buy low, sell high. Or something like that. Anyway. Help us reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube here at beadshop.com. You're going to be entered to win a $25 gift card, and we're going to give away a few of these. Okay, so there won't be just one winner. Subscribe to the beadshop.com YouTube channel. Leave a comment on the broadcast or in the comments below that you've subscribed. You can get an extra entry if you tell us what you love about our videos. We're going to announce the winner tomorrow on the third Thursday earring show. And so the comments were collected from last week through today on the 7th and the 14th Bead Shop Live shows and the replays. Existing subscribers can also leave a comment. Just because you're already a subscriber, we're not going to penalize you. So we'd love to see you there. So I really, really, my friends, want to hit that.
And you know what? It's so possible. So if everybody shared it and got their friends to do it, then we would.
That would be like the best gift.
I would be so
happy.
It would be
I want that silver button. I want that silver YouTube button that you get when you have 100,000 subscribers.
You get
I'm
a
gonna hang
trophy.
it. Yeah, I'm going to hang it right there.
You get some kind of trophy.
Yeah, you get a wall plaque.
Yeah.
Lisa has one over at Beach Occasion.
Oh, that's good. Love
Lisa.
that story. Lisa and McKelly. I gotta say her name all at once.
I know,
It's
all at
gotta
once.
be.
She was just
Gotta
texting
be.
me. She keeps texting me, so we'll have to text her back. Anyway, my friends, thank you. Thank you for everything. Of course, you can find us on, as you know, all the socials. Let me put that up. You can find all the information on the project and products from today's broadcast right over on beadshop.com. If you have any questions, shoot us an email right over at info@beadshop.com. And of course, stay in touch. Sign up for our newsletter. Sign up for Cynthia and Azalea's newsletter over on Green Girl. It's the best way to stay in touch about what's going on with our small businesses. All right, my friends, we are off to the retreat soon. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next Wednesday. If not before, well, we'll see you tomorrow shortly.
And tonight.
Yeah. And tonight,
we're going live again.
4 and 7 over on the Green Girl page. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
We'll see you later, friends.
Appreciate your support. Talk to you soon.